for them to win, and that didn't happen. But I did make up for it and pick the Eagles to win the Super Bowl, and that's exactly what they did. Now, going back and you looking at, this whole thing. This thing goes back further than the beginning of this year. This thing goes back way before that. Maybe I want to say maybe 2-3 years. With who was it? The general manager and president right now at this point, Howie Roseman. Howie Roseman, he has been with the Eagles for years, but he was always kind of like the assistant. He had the title, but didn't make, all the final moves. That was Andy Reid and Chip Kelly and everything. So finally, once when those two guys were out the way, it was put into his hand to kind of almost do, everything. So he's got a lot of credit, for doing all this. Constructing of this roster. And you got to give them credit. Chip Kelly came in and ran off, even though he was traded, but he ran off LaShawn McCoy, Jeremy Maclin, and Deshaun Jackson. Obviously, those were 3 key pieces to your team. And in a matter of 2 years to 3 years, this guy, Howie Roseman, got guys that nobody wanted, which was, and when I say nobody wanted, it was basically nobody wanted to pay, but Torrey Smith, Alshon Jeffrey, these were people that, nobody really had a big market for or really was running after this guy. And you got to give a special congratulations to Nelson Aguilar, man. This guy, for the past year or two, people have been talking about, his mentality or his mental psyche. If maybe it was shot and he'll be out in the NFL, he turned that around and he was a big key factor in this Super Bowl. So you got to give him a lot of credit. And I'm not going to talk about the Patriots for the most part at all on this because they don't deserve to be talked about because they didn't win. But you got to give them credit for overcoming Jordan Hicks. There was that starting middle linebacker. They lost him early in the year. They lost Jason Peters. He got replaced, but they kept the ship rolling. You lost your MVP. Let's be honest. If Carson Wentz had not went down, Carson Wentz would have been the MVP of the NFL. And you go with a guy, Nick Foles, and that you believe in, and he showed up. Also, a coach that wasn't highly touted to be a coach in the NFL, and Doug Peterson. He only just won the Super Bowl, just a little small thing. They traded away a guy like Sam Bradford for Carson Wentz, so in a matter of a couple of years, this team, really, really, really made strides that normally takes a franchise 5, 6, 7 years. Again, you lost 3 guys that were Pro Bowl players. No, I'm sorry, not lost. Chip Kelly got rid of 3 guys that were Pro Bowl players. And you end up getting, Alshon Jeffrey didn't go to the Pro Bowl. Torrey Smith wasn't voted for the Pro Bowl. Zach Ertz was, but Nelson Aguilar wasn't. I forgot about Jay Ajayi. You trade for Jay Ajayi. The Dolphins, Mocha Bella's team, the Dolphins all but just said Jay Ajayi was bad goods. Let's just get him out of here, man. He ain't gonna help nobody. And he comes in and he contributes to this team. You get a guy in LeGarrette Blount. He comes in, contributes to this team. I forgot another guy they lost, Darren Sproles. They lose Darren Sproles, another Pro Bowl player, and Clemens come in and catches a touchdown. And it just seems like when the Eagles, when it seems like, okay, this is what's going to cause them to fall apart. And it just, the ship kept rolling and it was like, okay, it's Carson Wentz. Then Carson Wentz goes down. That ship keep rolling, and it was nothing that they could do. And when I mean they, I mean the Patriots. I said on Facebook, there was a Michigan on mission crime. And what I meant by that was Brandon Graham and that strip sack of Tom Brady. And this time, Tom Brady did not get saved by the tuck rule on this. Remember, last time, Charles Woodson, the first Michigan on Michigan crime, but the Tuck rule came into play, and that changed the course of history for the NFL. Did not happen this time. I thought they would get to Brady a lot more, maybe 2 or 3 sacks. But one, that's all you needed. And props to Nick Foles for going to the sideline and telling Doug Peterson, let's run the Philly special. And it worked. It worked. Did not work for Brady. I mean, it is hard to catch a pass, and Brady was wide open, and he dropped that thing, and it was just, I mean, I don't mean to laugh at him because, again, I'm a Brady fan, but I have to laugh at him because it was funny. If it had been anyone else, I would have been laughing at them as well, so I just had to laugh at Brady because when they threw the ball, he was wide open. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And I said, what if he dropped? Oh my gosh. He dropped the ball. I could not believe it, And another part, to this game is Malcolm Jenkins. Not only was he covering, James White, and he did a pretty good job covering him. Of course, not purposely. He took out Brendan Cooks, and that changed the game, as well. Brendan Cooks, I don't know what was going on with him at that point. I thought he had his head on a swivel, but for a second, he kind of, and I'm not meaning this as a joke or anything, but it was literally, how that squirrel runs out into the road and gets confused, and it's just like, I don't know which way to go. That's what he looked like. For a split second. He kind of lost where he was at, and unfortunately, it cost him. And it cost the team, and the team felt the effects of it. They definitely needed, Brandon Cooks. They only had 4 wide receivers anyway, and they were down to 3, at that point. So, but congratulations. We're going to try and get a hold of Fish. Let me see if I can get a hold of Fish. But congratulations to the Eagles, and their Super Bowl win. So we're going to try and call Fish back because he tried to call. I think I got the phone fixed now. And now he doesn't want to probably talk to us, but I'm calling him so everyone hears it. They hear the phone ringing. I'm sure we're not going to get his voicemail because he's scared that the feds is looking for him, but we're going to give it one more ring.
Please leave your message for...
I tried. You, ladies and gentlemen, you heard me. I just tried. So, Fish, if you're listening, call back. But let me send some shouts out to some people in the chat room, in the Wait a Minute chat. Wait a minute. What is going on with me tonight? The Wait a Minute show chat room. But Miss Mocha Bella is in here. Mac Farrell, that boy Chucky as well is in here. Everybody's favorite woman in the world. Mocha is favorite too, but Tiffany Sports and Heels is in the building as well. I almost got clapped by Tiffany, so that's another story for another day. My man Faro Jaro, aka Jafari Jeter, is in the building as well. So all your beats, pretty much all these beats, may have a few here and there that you hear, but all these beats that you hear on here is made by Faro Jaro. So he's on. Maybe this is Fish calling right now. Let me see if I can reach it. No. See, what is going on? I'm going to try and call him back. For whatever reason, I am having technical difficulties, and I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. But we're going to see if we can get Fish on the phone, because it seems like I can call him, but my line is not letting me answer his. So we're going to try it one more time. One more time. I'm sorry, Fish. I'm sorry. But people that was in the chat room, shouts out to Tiffany Sports and Hills, Mac Farrell.
What up, JB?
I guess it's the microwave, John Fisher. All that noise he making. Is this you, sir?
Yeah, it's me, my bro. Hey, I ain't know was you calling the first time. It said private number. Normally, this time of year, I duck private.
What
But
did
I
I
shouldn't
just
answer
tell
it
you?
because
What did I just tell? I just told everyone listening right now. I said you're probably not answering the phone because he probably think it's the feds calling him.
hey man, them folks been looking for me. They said you've been celebrating too much. We trying to get you somewhere in a confined space, and I said not gonna be able to do it.
See, so I got you in the house. So first, before I even ask you any questions or anything like that, I'm going to give you the floor, right? Normally people give you the floor at the end when they're about to get off the phone with you, but I'm going to give you the floor right now. So whatever it is you want to say to anybody out there, the floor is yours, sir. Have at it.
Hey, in all due respect, since I've been watching football, I've been a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Syracuse was always a college that I wanted to go to as a youngster. And when I first started watching college football, I was watching Donovan McNabb. So I watched when the Eagles draft him, and I watched when they booed him, and I always felt like he was going to be the one to get it for us. He didn't. I wasn't around to see Ron Jaworski and Herm Edwards and all of them go to the Super Bowl and lose it. I wasn't around to see that, but as an angry fan, to actually see our city hoist up, and I'm not from Philly, but to see our team, like, so it takes a lot for a guy to decide to root for a team who's never won anything. So you can't ever call me a bandwagoner. At the same time, to see our city hoist up that trophy, man, it was something. As much trash as I want to talk, I think I got it all out Monday on my show. So right now, I'm just very humbled to be able to say that I feel like, well, I'm going to talk a little trash too. I feel like we showed the blueprint on how to beat New England, and I think the dynasty is over. And it was us that did it. And we're going to continue to roll on. Whether, we got a small window in the NFL. You know this, JB. We talk about this when we play football together. These windows in the NFL are small. You look at Seattle and you see that they won a Super Bowl, went back, and then they could have won it again, and then they made a bad play, and it didn't happen. And all of a sudden now Seattle didn't make the playoffs. So, I think the city of Philadelphia is hungry for more because we got what we wanted, finally. But we're hungry for more. We're not just satisfied with one. And we got a lot of our core players locked up through 2020.
Yeah. I think you got 20 of your 22 players, right?
We have, if you look at our core players, we have our entire offensive line is locked up. Jason Peters is exception of, but he'll probably come back on a cheaper deal. Our entire defensive starters are locked up. Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham. We're probably going to give something to Chris Long to stay for another year. Who knows? I don't know what we're going to do. But, we got Nick Foles here on a cheap deal, $7 million for a backup quarterback. But we paid Chase Daniels $12 million last season not to even take a snap. And now we paying $7 million for a Super Bowl MVP. And you look at Timmy Jernigan, Brandon Graham, like I said, so many of our core guys are locked up. Malcolm Jenkins, Rasul Butler, our other safety that started, I don't even remember his name right now because I'm so on cloud nine. We are locked up. So the question is, can we use this as to say, okay, we can get 2 out of 3, or are we just going to say we're going to be happy with the 1?
Gotcha. Okay. And now I understand you said something, that I definitely understand in the fact of, you said, you cheering for a team that had never won anything and this became your team. So I definitely understand that because, hello, I'm a Lions fan and I'm a Falcons fan.
There,
right. But I moved here to Atlanta.
I forgot about the Falcons.
Right.
I forgot about them.
I moved here to Atlanta and then I became a Falcons fan as well because the one thing I identified with Falcon fans, because being a Lions fan, I understand what that feeling is just like, look, is it ever going to happen? Am I going to die before I see this? And so I definitely understand, where you're coming from on that. So my next question for you is, obviously, you knew, this game was still on until the final buzzer went off because they had a chance, to still tie the game up. Can you describe to us that feeling that you had